Throughout history, there have been a variety of theories about what actually happened on that day when the tomb was found empty. Here are some of the more common ones. The women went to the wrong tomb. Jesus didn't really die, he was just in a coma. The authorities took the body. The disciples removed the body. Let's go over the evidence again, this time as it relates to these theories. First theory, the women went to the wrong tomb. The very location of Jesus' tomb in a private garden makes this impossible. They went to the one tomb in the private garden of the man who had paid to cover Jesus' body in spices. Even if there was more than one tomb, they would have discovered a tomb with no seal and no guard. Instead, there was a broken seal, a stone that was rolled away, and an angel. The women went to the right tomb. Second theory, Jesus didn't really die, he was just in a coma. The Romans were known for their ability to kill. The men who whipped Jesus severely knew what they were doing before he was nailed to a cross. And when it was time to break the bones of those hanging on crosses to get their deaths over with, the Roman soldiers didn't break Jesus' bones because he was already dead. They would have made sure that he was dead. But even if the soldiers made a mistake, Joseph and Nicodemus had to be sure Jesus was dead before they put nearly 100 pounds of spices on him and completely wrapped him up. And even if they were wrong, Jesus was wrapped tightly with nearly 100 pounds of spices and placed in a sealed tomb. Those conditions alone would have killed him if he wasn't already dead. Third theory, the Roman authorities took Jesus' body. This theory probably makes the least sense. The Romans didn't want chaos, they wanted peace. Stealing the body would create chaos and rumors that what Jesus said about rising again turned out to be true. The whole point of putting a guard in front of the tomb was so that no one would steal the body. The Jewish authorities wouldn't have stolen Jesus' body either. They wanted Jesus dead. They were the ones who called for his crucifixion. They were pleased that he was killed. Both the Roman and Jewish authorities wanted Jesus to decay in the tomb and for everyone to forget about him. Fourth theory, the disciples stole the body. Apart from the whole problem of the Roman guard, there is little possibility that a secret that big would have stayed a secret. Author Eric Metaxas explained it this way. Think about it. Except for John, all of the disciples were killed for their faith. Surely one of them, at some point, would have recanted over several decades. Surely one of them, under threat of torture and death, would have cracked and said, Okay, we made it up. We stole the body. Don't kill me. But not one of them did. No one. And again, this is over the course of several decades. Anyone who's ever been involved in a conspiracy will tell you that the more people involved, the more difficult it is to keep the thing going. And these were 11 men, actually more, who were killed for their faith because they insisted that Jesus rose from the dead and they had seen him alive after his death. It would have been a whole lot easier for one of them to have said, you know what, we got it wrong, we made a mistake, but not one of them did. There is often a disconnect between faith and science, it seems. But in the case of the resurrection, there is significant, actual evidence of the event. Yet, we still need faith when we don't see everything firsthand. The disciples were changed because of the resurrection. They were so changed that they gave up their lives for what they believed in, not for some cover-up they were trying to sell to the world. Jesus really did rise from the dead. He is alive. Everything comes down to the resurrection. Because of the resurrection, we can know Jesus is who he said he is. Jesus fulfilled prophecy. We can trust Jesus, and we can fully believe in life beyond death. We have the choice. We can believe the evidence and live transformed, or we can ignore it and remain the same. What will you choose?